Little boxes made of ticky-tacky little boxes on the hillside. Little boxes all the same. There's a green one. Children go to summer camp and then to the university where they are put in boxes and they come out all the same.
That's right. In case anybody guessed it, you're in Minnesota today with me, Ashley Kay. Welcome to my life. So first off, I just want to say thank you so much for letting me take part in this and be part of the Women in Tech Club. So thank you for the invite. So a little about me is that I'm an accidental entrepreneur. Never meant for this journey, but it kind of found me instead. And I've got 3 amazing, beautiful kids, Jack, Joey, and Kelsey. 8. So I actually started my own company just about 2 months ago after unsuccessfully trying to find a job on LinkedIn. And it's called Social Impact Branding. My company is completely digital. I help businesses in growth mode create a strategic online presence, so leveraging social media to gain more income. So just minding my own business, doing my thing, and then all of a sudden, boom! That's what happened to me about 20 minutes ago. But not to worry, everybody's fine, everybody's okay, and it wasn't my fault, so that's the best part, right? Woohoo! So anyway, you guys can add me. Show must go on, right? So let's get back to how social media interacts with technology. And if you guys want to follow me, this is my username, so you guys can. Okay, well, first off, and most obviously, I mean, technology involves with social media because it lives in the digital world, and without technology, we wouldn't have such amazing opportunities with social. And after I started getting fan mail from people because I blogged about this on the LinkedIn Post Network, saying that they were excited to follow me, and here I'm saying, follow me what? I realized digital world is actually how I became an accidental entrepreneur, because for the very first time I realized, hey, we're all connected for the first time via framework. It's all electrical. And I have kind of an untraditional background. I mean, I come from divorced parents, I've got 3 kids, I've got a husband, and I finally just graduated college after 10 years. So I started my college career right after high school like everybody else. I went to Arizona State and majored in mixology. So ended up dropping it. I moved home about 3.5 years later after my mom and my grandma both got sick, and I decided to stay because I met my husband, started popping out kids, and I re-enrolled in college when my first son was. I went to the University of Phoenix in St. Louis Park, but I actually went on ground to the ground campuses. They were all 5 weeks long, and it was 1 class a week on Monday nights year round. And of course, like any reasonable adult who just had children, I decided why not have some more. So we had our second one pretty early though. That's right. Halfway through my degree, my second child was born very early, 29 weeks. My body just rejected the pregnancy, and he spent quite a while in the hospital. It definitely was really hard to get through that, but I just tried to take myself out of the emotion and do what had to be done, like re-enroll in school before that 6-month mark was up, which I finally, in January of 2014, 8 months pregnant, I graduated from the University of Phoenix with a bachelor's in business management with emphasis in marketing and communication. Gladly took the first year off where we finally were able to buy our first home, which we scored on, by the way. And I joined LinkedIn in September, ready to get a job, all gung-ho, like, hey. And when I joined LinkedIn, I really put my heart and soul into that profile, and I started applying to jobs left and right. And I tagged it, and I followed it. And that's when I started my personal branding mission, because sure, I knew how everything worked hypothetically, but I didn't really actually know anything that was going on in the Minneapolis area. I took the time to meet with anybody and everybody who would meet me for coffee or anything. And I started with all the companies where I really wanted to work. And before I knew it, people were sending my info. I took quite a few interviews. I had a really good time. I met a lot of people, and I actually gained a following. And that's when my fans started writing me letters like, I'm excited to follow you. Exactly. This is why I call myself an accidental entrepreneur, because I had a guy from Paris write me a letter saying, I can't wait to follow you. And I said, follow me? Follow me what? I'm just trying to get a job. And that's when I took a step back and I realized I had grown a network on LinkedIn of over 3,000 in just a couple of months. People don't know how to do that. And I realized and that's where I came up with the idea for SoulPack, my big, huge startup that I'm trying to build, that I've already launched the first 2 products of, and it's awesome. It's really so to make a long story really short, Social Impact Branding works as a product and a service where I help companies learn how to leverage social media so they can make more money, whether that be through profile, And then as my own schedule starts to fill up, I actually start to use this data processor to build part 2, where I network workout to those that are, and for people who need their social media managed on a monthly basis, I connect them with people who are in my human-based personal network that make strategic partnerships. What that is doing is it's building a prototype version of a way where I can try to get the human aspect of networking into the digital platform. So I'll tell you guys a lot more about it, but we're gonna go meet a co-founder tonight, actually. So, take 5. I'll be back in a little bit. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, there goes my favorite necklace ever. Oh well, life goes on, right? Gotta keep moving, keep going forward. Time to head out to this event. So we are headed downtown Minneapolis to the Coco office in downtown, which is a co-working space, and we're going to meet the CEO of When I Work. Firm believer of no snapping and driving, although I do Facebook Live sometimes for my vlog, but I park my phone, so.
IT can provide. That leads us back to the budget. Many of the C-suite still remember the extortion schemes of Y2K spending. Importantly, there is a huge performance chasm between meaning makers and data collectors. On average, meaning makers have a 23% advantage.
Radio presents Ask Gary Vee, one entrepreneur's take on leadership, social media, and self-awareness by Gary Vaynerchuk. Newspapers, magazines, and television. Today's marketer, however, doesn't have to invest in a printing press or a satellite or buy expensive advertising.
I know, I broke my own rule. It's like monkey see, monkey do. Don't do as I say, not as I did. Just wanted to show you guys Minneapolis too. All right, since we're making it down, the little fun fact for you, that big building in the back, that's US Bank Stadium. And this is actually pretty much right where we're going. So that back there, US Bank Stadium, hasn't opened yet. That's where Super Bowl 2018 will be though. So a little fun fact, if you guys remember, my second child was born on the same day that the Metrodome collapsed, which is where they used to play. This is the time when people think of Minneapolis, they think brr, cold, but we got these skyways that connect the entire city, so you never have to go outside in the wintertime. You can go all around downtown to the skyway. But what people forget is, yeah, it's cold and yeah, we stay inside, but we have over 30 Fortune 500 companies headquartered right here. That's over $250 million a year. I mean, that's gonna be pretty cool though, that stadium. They're gonna have the Super Bowl 2018 there, which means our economy will be boosted. This is the Coco office. You want to be here. You're here. Please go around. Here's the right spot. Hi guys, how are ya? Oh, you see that? That's because this is where all their different offices are. It's like a pop-up space, you know? You put your own little thing in there. That's like. So I also run an MSP Snap TV account, so I know a lot of these guys are seeing me. They probably think I'm doing that. So what do you guys all notice about these people? All men. So sponsored by Google Entrepreneur.
We're still talking about it.
It's a pretty nice little setup, eh? But here's my favorite part. I switched from coffee to drinking. That's right. They give out free booze. So this is what I really like about these co-working environments though. I mean, they really set you up to get in here, relax, be able to do the work in your most creative aspect. This is Alex.
Hi everyone.
Rodriguez. He's with Code 2040 and he's in charge of diversifying the work environment here at Coco, right?
Yep, that's correct.
So, tell us what you're doing to bring in more women.
Yeah, so we're looking to do a series of events, partner with some local organizations here in town like Women in Tech, Lesbians in Tech. We're also looking to partner with women who are startup founders, executives, or they're community builders to kind of build that support and mentorship amongst women. We're also making sure we're marketing out to the right groups, partnering with some local organizations such as schools, coding boot camps.
It's all right. This one here, she's the one to talk to. She knows what's up and what's in charge.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this up right up here just because there
Better
we go.
views. Cavaney. Tell them who you are, Lauren.
My name is Lauren Cavaney, and I am the Minneapolis Director for Startup Grind. And really excited that we have Chad Halverson here. Work Out Loud is my company. I'm the co-founder and president of Work Out Loud as a customer community platform for your customers.
And not for the business. So I was completely predicating my entire story and what my work was to help employees, because that was the pain point that I found in look at the customers that we're getting, 80 to 90% of anybody that becomes a customer when I work is going offline now. But that also is a reminder that it is the beginning, and we can't let ourselves get you know, 12 to 24 months. I think what I've learned that
Okay, so that speech was like sick, totally insane. It's very close to what I'm trying to build, which I realized I didn't get to tell you guys everything about. SILPAC is my company, Social Impact Branding, which I told you I've already launched the first 2 parts, but it's got 5. And I'm going to tell you what it's going to be. And this kind of contributes into how exactly I need more technology in my life, because that's what my company is based off of. So, as I help companies start to strategize and get into social media, once they want me to do their monthly service, well, I network that out to my own personal network, right? I told you before. By networking it out, I'm actually just building a prototype of how this is going to work, because I'm bringing human networking to the digital platform. That's my goal. Because by using data analysis to identify synchronicities and big data traits, you're able to partner and strategically match people together on beneficial relationships. Sometimes hard to explain what I'm really trying to build because it doesn't live for 10 to 15 years. Gen X is too stuck in their mindset, they can't accept it. Really, that's okay, because what I'm trying to build is for my kids' kids. For a generation that's born never knowing what it's like to not have technology available to them from the palm of their hand. So if you can imagine Uber meets Angie's List with an Airbnb quality check, that's what I'm building. And for those of you who don't know what it is, I mean, I told you guys I was going to change the world, right? If you know who Gary Vee is, I consider myself very similar, except the female version, 10 years younger and a little bit cute. And if you're wondering how I'm going to do this, well, check out what I did in less than a week. Global Snap Swap movie, Google it. The Global Snapshot movie was 30 different countries. I was going for 50, but I got 30. 30 countries taking over my personal Snap channel in one day, giving a real-time, real-life view of where they were at in the world. So I don't want to give too much away right here, but if you want to know more, hit me up. I'm always willing to talk about it. I already have a preliminary patent application submitted. And you bet your butt, as soon as this meeting was over, I marched right up there and introduced myself to Chad, and I gave him my card, and I said, look here, we got to talk. So I got to go back in too. Tech is everywhere these days. I might not look like your typical techie girl, but you know what? I understand it, and I know how to translate it in layman's terms. I'm a firm believer in you never know if you don't try. And what's the worst they can say? No? Who cares? You'll never see them again anyway. Go for it. I have this little mantra that I like to remind myself, okay? If whatever the situation is isn't going to affect my life in 5 years, I don't care. You can win. It's not a big deal. And don't get mad about other people, because remember, you can only ever be responsible for your own actions, not somebody else's reaction. And the same goes oppositely too. You have absolutely no control or power over anybody else's actions, but you do have control over your reaction. Let me just tell you guys, everything always happens for a reason. Don't look twice. Don't think twice. Go with your gut, and magic happens. Look at me. I'm coming after you, Gary Vee. Mark my words. And I know you're sneakier than I gave you credit for. So I didn't really realize how long this was going to take, and I was always planning on giving out some LinkedIn tips and tricks. If you want to hear more, take a screenshot or send me a reply and I'll still do it. I'm a very, very, very big believer in engagement and communication, so I always try to respond back to every single snap that I get. Otherwise, that is the old screen code. You can take a screenshot or whatevs.